Hey gang, today I want to talk about decomposing factors. You guys know that factors are the numbers that we use to multiply to get a product. A product's an answer to a multiplication problem. Okay, so the factors are the numbers that we multiply. So if I have 2 times 5 equals 10, 2 and 5 are the factors, 10 is the product. We're going to talk about decomposing factors. To decompose means to break it down into smaller parts. Okay? So we're going to take one of the factors, we're going to break it down into smaller parts. We're going to use an illustration first, and then we're going to take the illustration away and see if we can use it and actually apply what we're trying to learn. All right, if I have a figure like this, I can use this to help me multiply by counting the number of blocks going across and the number of blocks going down. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks going down, or 4 rows going across, and then on the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the top. All right, so if I wanted to find the total, I could do 4 times 8. Now, a lot of times kids struggle with the larger numbers. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, all right, is there an easier way, or is there a way that I can work through this if I don't know 4 times 8? Best thing you do is learn your facts. Okay, get some flashcards to learn those facts. But all right, we could take this 8 and we can break this down into smaller numbers that might help us to solve this a little easier. Okay, because right now I'm looking at trying to do 4 times 8 to figure out the total. I'm going to put the letter N for the total because I don't know it yet. So I could do 4 times 8 because there's 4 rows of 8. All right, now how can I decompose this 8? How can I break this down into smaller numbers? All right, I'm going to take a look at my picture, and now I'm going to break this apart into 2 sections. So I'm going to put an X in the boxes here. And I'm going to change my picture now where it looks like this. Well, now look at how many columns I have that are blank. I have 5 columns that are blank, and then over here I have 3 columns that have the X's in them. So what I've done is I've kind of made, instead of 4 times 8, I've made it into 2 smaller problems. Here I still have 4 rows. The 4 hasn't changed, has it? I'm only decomposing one factor. The 4 is not going to change. I have 4 rows, but now here I have 4 rows of 5. So now instead of 4 times 8, now I have 4 times 5. Now, why do I want to get to 5? Because it's easy to count by 5s, right? So I have 4 times 5, and then over here, I have 4 rows of 3. So I have 4 times 3. Notice that the 4 hasn't gone away. It's in both of those 2 multiplication problems right there. The 4 hasn't gone away. So now I've got 4 times 5 and 4 times 3. Now, I have to, what do I want to do with these? If I want to find the total, what am I going to end up wanting to do with them once I find them? I'm going to want to add them together. So I've got to make sure that that is added and not multiplied in the middle there. I want to multiply this, I want to multiply that, and then add them together. So 4 times 5 should be easier for us to do. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12. And now when I add 20 plus 12, I get 32. And 4 times 8 is 32. Okay? So what did we do? We took one factor and we broke it up into smaller amounts. Did I have to use 5 and 3? No, I didn't have to. I can use whatever numbers I want to use, really. Okay? I didn't have to use 5 and 3, but I like to get to 5 because it makes my multiplication easier because I can count my 5s easily. Let's come back to this problem for a minute. Let me change it. I won't use 5 and 3 this time. It's still 4 times 8, right? That's not going to change. But now I'm going to shade this part. So now I have this section, that section. It's like I've split it in half, right? I've got 4 rows of 4. So I'm going to put 4 times 4 there because there's 4 and there's 4 in each one. And then I've got 4 rows of 4 again. And remember, I find this, and I want to do what with them? I want to add them together. Okay? All right, why would I do it this way? Well, now I only have to figure it out once, right? Because once I figure out 4 times 4 here, it's going to be the same thing over there, right? So 4 times 4 is 16. Good, I heard somebody say it there. 16, this will be 16, and then I can add them together. Okay? When I add 16 plus 16, I still get 32. Okay? So I'm going to get that same product no matter what I do. Okay? But I can break it up however I'd like. Okay? You get the idea with the picture? All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the picture away, and we're going to go over here and we're going to look at 9 times 7. And we're just going to break up we're going to break up the second number. We're going to break that up into smaller parts. We're going to decompose that number. So I have 9 times 7. So we're going to imagine the picture. There's 9 rows. There's 7 in each one. Okay? So I'm still going to have 9 rows every time, no matter what. So I'm going to have 9 times something, right? Okay. Let's break that 7 apart. What does 7 break into? Again, I like to go to 5s because 5s are easy to count by. So let's do that. We'll do 9 rows of 5. And then if I take 5 from 7, what's left? 7 minus 5 is 2. So I have 9 times 2. Can you imagine the picture so I don't have to redraw it? Can you imagine it? I had 7 columns. Now I've got 5 shaded and 2 shaded, right? So now I have 9 times 5 and 9 times 2, and now I'm going to add those together. Okay? 9 times 5, you can count by 5s, right? That would be 45. 9 times 2, 18. And remember, what do I have to do with those two numbers? Now I've got to add them. That's right. I've got to add them. Okay? If we have 45 and we count on 8 more, that takes us to 53. Add a 10, 63. And 9 times 7 is 63. Okay? All right, let me do one more. Give me a number. 8, that's a good number. Give me another number. No, we just did 7. Give me another one. 6, there we go. Okay? Let's say we had 8 times 6, and we had to figure out what 8 times 6 was. All right? We're going to leave the 8 alone, and we'll decompose the 6. Okay? We'll decompose the 6. And we're actually going to do this one twice. Okay? Again, I like to go with 5s. All right? 8 times 6, don't know what it is. Okay? So I want to try to decompose it and see what I can figure out. I like to go with 5, so we're going to break that 6 up. Break up 6 into 5 and 1. There you go. 8 times 5 plus, and again, it's always going to be the 8. 8 times 1. Notice, that first number never changed, right? I had a 4, had a 4, had a 4. Had a 9, had a 9, had a 9, had an 8, 8, 8. First number doesn't change. You're only decomposing the second one. All right, 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 rather is 8. I'm going to add those 40 plus 8. That was an easy one, 48, right? 48. Don't always have to use 5s though, so let's come back and do this one again. Let's break up 6 into 3 and 3. The 8 is still going to be the same. So the first one will be 8 times 3 plus 8 times 3, right? Because it's going to look, you're going to shade part of the picture, you get it. All right, 8 times 3, we only have to figure out once now, right? If you know your times 3s, 8 times 3, 24. 24. We're going to add those, 24 and 24, it's still 48. Okay? All right, guys, so when you're decomposing your factors, you're taking one factor out of the pair and you're breaking it down into 2 smaller ones, and that should help you to try to figure out the 2 smaller ones, add them together, it'll give you the larger product. Do one more with a picture. How about that? Let's make it a small picture just to go through it again. Let's do 3 times 6. I'm going to want to decompose the 6. I could do 5 and 1. I could do 4 and 2. I could do 3 and 3. What do you want to do? 4 and 2. That's what I was thinking. Okay? All right. I'm going to shade it this way. Okay? So now instead of 6, I've got 4 plus 2. 3 rows. 3 rows of 4, 3 rows of 2. So when I started out, I would have had 3 times 6 equals n. Now I've got 3 times 4 and 3 times 2. Right? See it? 3 rows of 4, 3 rows of 2. I'm going to add those. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. 12 plus 6 is 18. Pretty simple concept, gang. All right, you want to make sure that one of the factors always stays the same. You're going to multiply it by the 2 smaller ones that you make. You want to add your 2 products together, and you'll get your final product. Okay? Should be a link that you can click on and work on that a little bit. All right? Keep working hard. I'm proud of you.